Well, hello. Welcome back again. We're back and we're so happy to be back with you today after the good week that we had last week, which was Juneteenth. Juneteenth was such a great we just enjoyed it so well. And I think it showed me that people are waking up. We are not sleeping anymore. We know what happened, and we we have our eyes open. And Juneteenth is going to be one of the biggest holidays of the year, and we're so proud. That means that it's involved everyone, and we want to thank you all for participating. Made my heart happy to see all of us out there participating in Juneteenth and understanding what Juneteenth is. And today we're going to talk about three things. The first one is going to be on open carry gun, open gun carry law. We're going to talk about that and to talk about what our government is doing here in Louisiana. And then we're going to talk about um, the Ten Commandments. And then we're going to talk about the lawsuit in Louisiana against the Ten Commandments. So, the open gun.
Wait. First, we got to start off with our introductions and
We're
say
gonna
today is a holiday.
We're gonna well,
Happy birthday!
Thank you. Yeah, it's my birthday.
Yes.
And I have been collecting monies. So this is my birthday. So thank you.
Yes.
Okay. So
we're gonna hit it.
We're gonna talk about my guest.
Hi, I'm Zandra Washington.
And I'm Andrew Rose.
And we are always here, even though we have other guests, but you can always depend on the three of us being here all the time, just to have this conversation with you. And we love it so much. I receive your comments and your calls, and we thank you so much. So continue to do that, and let us know if you're getting off the track with it. Just say, hey, I like this. Okay, but the open gun carry law here in Louisiana. Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry, a Republican, has signed constitutional carry into law, beginning on Independence Day, July 4th. Isn't that something? One of the biggest days. We're going to be here with people
and
all
most
there.
black people going
to
be
out. Yes, and that's Essen here. July the 4th, the carrying off a concealed gun by a non-felon will be legal without a permit. How you like that? Now, restrictions on where the gun can be carried will be hot topics. During the upcoming regular session, Louisiana has long been an open carry state, but the new law is uncharted territory for Louisiana. All the states bordering Louisiana have passed permitless carry. At the bill signing, Governor Landry said, "Today we joined 27 other states in passing constitutional carry. I promised the folks of Louisiana that I would campaign constitutional carry into law. And within 2 months, I have honored that commitment. It's fundamentally clear. Law-abiding citizens should never have to seek government permission to safeguard themselves and their family. Today, we have secured an incredible victory for liberty in Louisiana."
Anytime they use the word liberty, I automatically think about the Ku Klux Klan
And
and the privilege that they just exert.
Yeah.
I am extremely nervous about these gun laws, open carry law, with all the violence that's happening in our communities. But we know that they're trying to enact a different law, even though it's watered down, to protect Bourbon Street because of the tourist that's recently got killed there on Wednesday. And these buzzwords that's hidden or blatant, if you will, really is targeted to Black and brown folk.
That's right.
And so when you look at the open carry law and how anyone that has a gun that feels threatened can say they were protecting their piece of protecting themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But we know that, particularly here, a lot of people forget, we have a street named Bourbon, so they're going to be a little drinking and, and all those things that go into it. But I just don't like the open carry law at all.
Yeah.
It's very scary.
It's a lot of drinking down there, but I just want to say this. So, that old saying that your mom would tell you, well, if 27 people jumped off a bridge, would you jump? Because it appears that's what that's where we're at. 27 other states. I would believe that if it's 27, they all got, some laws tied into it somewhere. But it's just the fact that, it's the right thing to do. And it's 27 states that we're following.
What are they? I mean, we know it's Florida, Texas.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
it's those places where Republicans vote. It's
Right.
those, it's the blue states.
Red states.
Red states. But, ironically, as you said, Sandra, it's to protect the areas where the tourists are. Well, the tourists got to be the ones that's coming to towns with the guns, right?
Mm-hmm.
How are they going to get them by the TSA?
No, not everybody's coming through the airport.
Well, not everybody's, but
even though, it's still open carry. Yes. There's still laws once they get here.
Essence.
They have to get here. But yes, Essence is on the calendar. There's a lot of Black and brown people in our communities.
Driving from near and from.
My point is, Essence bring about 500,000 people to this city. That's more than they got in the city. So for those tourists who we're trying to protect, and open carry means that anybody come here can get a gun. I mean, the tourists are not going to. Here's one of the things that will happen with this law. One, if you're telling a tourist, because we're trying to protect the French quarters, right? Mm-hmm. And all of those areas that make money, well, then it's the tourists that's going to need the guns because the people that's here already, they got guns. So if you're telling people that you got to get a gun when you come here, chances are they're going to feel like this place ain't safe.
They're not saying you have to get a gun. They're just saying that you can have one and we're not going to even check you for it.
Okay,
right?
So no background checks, none of that.
Some laws still apply. But
well,
open. What is some historic markings with this? What is some of the conflicting issues that you see right now?
I would even think as a tourist, if all the citizens, not all, but most of the citizens of Louisiana are carrying guns, I guess like the 27 other states, I would not feel safe coming here.
I just moved here. I don't feel. I'm not going to put that out there about not feeling safe. I'm not giving that power away. But just for our children and our communities, of feeling safe. Right?
Well, but that includes them also. That includes everybody. If you're saying, hey, you don't need no permit, you don't need no background check, that means more and more people are going to go out there and buy guns, and that's what we don't need, more idiots with guns. And that's that's unsafe. I drive Uber, so if my customers are carrying guns, I'm not going to feel safe. So that's just me. But I'm thinking that even the people coming here, well, Louisiana has this thing where everybody can get a gun, basically at no checks or boundaries or anything. So why would I want to go there?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a police commissioner, all of the police folks are not agreeing with this law because I think they feel like, oh, so now we got to watch out for more people with guns. She ain't backing it. Kilpatrick, Holman, all of the sheriffs of Louisiana, they're not backing that law. Mm-hmm. So something's wrong there. And
so
I think,
what's our solutions, you think?
Mm-hmm. Well, one is to make it harder for people to get guns. I mean, it sounds like we're working for the NRA. I mean, because they're the ones who want to really benefit by the sales of more guns on the street.
The lobbyists and all that.
So that's just how I feel about it. I'm not for having more guns. I'm having less guns. Our children will be safer. Our schools will be safer. And they didn't put out there, well, what kind of guns? That means you can go out and get an AR-15 or whatever it is. They didn't say, well, we're not going to limit it to. They're talking about free zone where this city makes money. Okay, so what about our communities?
Right. It's not to make our community safe. It is to make those communities, like you said, you talked about earlier in the red zone, safe, safer because they feel safe already, safer than we do. But they is to make them feel safer. My concern is that with having guns and children in homes, they're already, finding guns and killing up each other and
Accidental death.
yeah, all that, yeah, and it's kind of that's my concern. One of my concerns is for that, and the other one is that they're not going to be allowed in the black communities just that free.
No,
It's not going to be. You're not. The police officers are not going to go up to a house to arrest someone and knowing that they have a gun. It's going to be difficult for them to do that. So I'm with the with some churches. Some churches don't like it, and I know many people don't like it. But what are we going to do about it?
We gotta mobilize our community,
Yeah,
do some community
yeah,
organizing.
we have to do that. We have to organize, 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 and we have to learn how to meet the problem before it comes. Like know that these laws are going to be passed, and we need to be about stopping it. At least making a noise. But this law passed without a real big noise made from the community, and there was people in the surrounding parish that was making noise. But I'm talking about just the noise from the community. We're saying no, that's not going to happen because we know what this going to do and going to be for our children. So that's one of my main concerns about it. Yeah.
I think with this law, you also look at stand your ground. When you got more folks out there with more guns, some people are going to get shot. And the first thing they're going to say is, well, I stood my ground because the other person had a gun. But we know who that law applies to because that's when those crimes are committed, we don't win many of those cases as Trayvon Martin, that thing. They use what? Stand your ground. So how many more of us are going to be targeted for, uh, and we might even have a gun, but the thing is, they're going to say, oh, he had a gun. Stand my ground. I think, people uh, of
It's
our,
absolutely adding fuel to the race fire that's happening right now.
And yeah, and it's not going to be uh, accepted in different parts of the states. It's like in the city, it's like it's not going to be effective for the entire city of New Orleans.
right, just for the rich area.
We just know what areas it's going to be in. So
And so they're labeled red zones or
free zones. Yeah.
by city
That
or is it
you
I mean by zip
well,
code or ward?
what they're proposing is it's okay to carry a gun in the French Quarters. It's okay to carry a gun uptown in the Garden District. It's all of those zip codes don't work with the Katrina zip codes, if I may say that. Why?
they say they want to see a proposed firearm free zone expanded beyond the French Quarters to include the Marigny, Central Business District, and the Warehouse District, where Sunday Mass takes place.
Okay.
So,
but it's a watered down version.
Yes.
Because it says that they also give police the autonomy to frisk anyone if they suspect, if they're
Stop and
inebriated, stop and frisk, if they irate, if you will, and then they can have, based on that cautionary law.
But who's going to get stopped and frisked as it was in New York? It's going to be us now. We'll have the right to have a gun because that's what the law say. But
And because we have a gun, that's a reason for us to get killed.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
so
yeah, and get arrested.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I don't know. I'm not comfortable with it. I know Kilpatrick, she's not comfortable with it, but what they did is water it down, like you said, in certain areas. What about the Law 9? You can't have no, that don't apply to the Law 9 or New Orleans East, or some of the places up north, or west. If you're going to make a law, you can't make it for part of the state. You got to make it for all of the state.
All right.
So either make the law or don't have it.
Well, it's already signed, so we have to keep
well,
our eyes on
by
it
Republican
and
government.
and make
Yes.
it and make
It's
some.
signed.
Keep our eyes on the
Yes.
prize of amendments and get some
And
petitions signed and do what we can to make our city safe. I think. What do you think the reaction would be if all black people could walk around with some guns?
Well, but that's the whole thing. It's like
We'll be the Black Panther
you're
Party.
saying now that we who live in those areas, we could do that. Now, if you want to get that, make them think twice. If we get armed, then
The law change quick.
the stuff gonna hit the fan.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't just arrest people because they have guns now. Because the law says that you can carry one.
Okay.
Hmm.
So we'll keep our eye on that one. I think what we need to do is keep our eye on that, making sure what movement. I know that there's a Representative Knox is his name.
Yeah.
He has something that's going to be before, and they're going to vote on that. So hopefully we can support that and keep it on our radar.
Yeah.
So what's up with this 10 Commandments? What you thinking?
Well, we're gonna get into that next. The Ten Commandments. Such a
good movie.
Yeah.
Such a good
Ten
movie.
Commandments. I'm so used to seeing it on TV. The Ten Commandments. With all those white guys.
All those white boys and
playing the African people but Louisiana is Jeff Landry signed the law last week, making Louisiana the only state to require that the Ten Commandments be displayed in public school K through 12 and college classrooms. He has welcomed a legal fight over the law, telling fellow Republicans it's a recent fundraiser. I can't wait to be sued.
He's a Republican. We got a Republican governor.
That's right.
And this is what Republican governors do. They want laws to work that they want to work. It's like bringing the prayer back to school. Well, we got rid of it for a reason.
Separation of church and state.
It's separation of church and state.
And what makes them only choose the 10 Commandments? Aren't there other religions that have some guiding principles that we all should adhere to? I mean,
Well, there's separation.
Why only the 10 Commandments?
There's a separation. I think it's just remain that way. The lawsuit alleges that the mandate runs roughshod over the United States Constitution, violating student rights to be free from religious coercion in public school and parents' right to direct their children upbringing. So I think that's true because you're gonna demand that my child learn the Ten Commandments. I think you need to demand that every child knows how to read
and
write up to a standard
and understand critical thing.
That's right.
About what they are.
The Ten Commandments. What does the Ten Commandments have to do with this?
Yeah. And what other laws, Jeff Landry?
I shall not steal. I shall not commit adultery. I shall not do this and I shall not do that. Everything that people are doing, especially what Donald Trump is doing. So come on, people, we have to.
And that was the next thing I was going to say, Mike.
Yeah,
How many more laws that Trump come up with that this guy, who's a Republican governor, I'm going to keep saying that because I want y'all all to remember that.
Yeah, he's
who's a Republican governor. How many Trump laws are he's going to come up with and impose on Louisiana residents? You know, I mean,
yeah, and he's so sure about getting his way in Louisiana. He has a fundraiser here.
Yeah,
Just
2 days ago.
Yeah,
2 days ago he had a by the people who own Bollinger Ship Company shipping. You know, I mean, if you can build ships and make money off of ships, you can easily pay $5,000 a plate. You know, and all people who got that kind of money.
Right.
So that's where the fundraising was for. But I never see actually any fundraising he does where there are black folks there. Now there may be some, but they ain't on the inside. They standing outside trying to support Trump. Yeah, yeah.
The Detroit church, that prop.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Ten Commandment has nothing to do with schoolwork.
Right.
So I don't, and he's saying that we won't have to pay for it. That they have a donor who's gonna,
of course,
pay for it. Yes, we understand they do that all the time. But I don't think that we should have to put them up in our classroom.
No.
We are essentially paying for it. The teachers will be required to acknowledge it in the classroom, so the teachers are paid by tax dollars. So that is an indirect fee that we are absolutely contributing to this.
And the curriculum is going to change into some
absolutely
the Ten Commandments.
More religion.
Don't pay attention.
Yeah, more religion in school, and it's not what you take.
If it's a private school, absolutely do what they want to do.
Because see, the religion is their main weapon that they have over us, and that's what they were, religion. And we just so
and that's
mixed up with religion,
That's why the Ten Commandments, the movie, was about pharaohs. But as we find out, the pharaohs of Egypt were black.
Yes.
And of course, they will not do a reverse movie because this was done on the continent of Africa, and it's kind of like that Tarzan thing.
Yeah,
all the black folks they had in Africa, Tarzan was the only one who could talk to the animals and do all of those things.
And not only that, only the beautiful black women they had in Africa. Yeah. King Kong was only interested in the white woman. We go have just black man.
Yeah.
They had that, but he was only interested in the white woman. Come on.
Yeah.
They wrote that, and they made us believe in
and the Ten Commandments. They wrote that. Hugh Brenner and all of those other white people. The pharaohs of Egypt were black.
That's right.
Okay, so we need to understand that when you watch the Ten Commandments.
Mm-hmm.
Now, maybe I could agree with a little more if they.
And what's that white boy who always plays the main character? Bert. What's his name?
Bert Lancaster.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know.
Lancaster. Okay.
I don't know if he was in the Ten Commandments. I know Hugh Brenner played one of the.
Well, that probably was Hugh Brenner. Probably.
Yeah.
But
that's what they want us to believe.
It was a white goat.
Mm-hmm.
Who did it?
History says Nefertiti was black.
Mm-hmm.
And all of those things.
She was.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is Egypt. During that time, I don't know. I can't go that far back in history, but I don't think there were that many white people in Africa. Except those who went there to get the slaves.
Right, they didn't. They went there to steal and take stuff, and they didn't live there.
I think that's a different podcast. You remember we talked about the rivers. I forget the name of it.
So
what we were talking about.
Yeah, we did that. But we're gonna.
But this is
just conversation on whatever.
Yeah.
As long as it relates,
and these are the things that Jeff Landry is saying, well, I'm going to do this because it promotes like his history, of course, which is his story. But there have been many things that's been done regarding the education of us, but it ain't about us. It's always about what they've done. Christopher Columbus ain't never even made it to America. He got lost.
Okay, and they say the reason why they did this is to wake up the Sunday mass shooting in the warehouse district that has been pushed by New Orleans law enforcement to make changes to the newly passed law that will allow concealed gun carry without a permit in Louisiana.
And they ain't caught nobody.
Yeah, and we could talk about what happened in the warehouse district.
11 people got shot.
Mm-hmm. And it was with a mixed race or what?
Yeah, the shooter didn't care. He just shot, and I know the area because, I deliver folks to that area. Mm-hmm. And that is a mixed area. It's not just, all of them or all of us. It's a mix because the bars they've got black bars and white bars. So whoever did the shooting, you don't know who they were targeting. Mm-hmm. But instead of giving everybody a gun, why don't we try to find a shooter?
Find a shooter.
Yeah, let's just find a shooter.
Everybody gets.
Yeah, maybe if everybody had a gun, they could have shot back. But come on. I don't want to be places where people. They had an article in the paper by one time. They busted into a Treme bar. They had 9 people in the bar and they confiscated 12 guns. So that's about a gun and a half per person. You think I want to go to that bar? I would suggest that nobody do. Mm-hmm. But adding guns ain't going to solve the problem. It's going to create.
It's not going to be effective for the entire city of New Orleans.
So
too much gun violence as is in the city.
And again, they're not specifying.
Great stride.
They're not specifying what guns. Mm-hmm. So it's okay to carry a AK-47 because they didn't specify you couldn't, but you can carry around an AK-47 in the front quarters. Mm-hmm. If I'm a tourist, I'm saying, I don't know if I want to be on this street.
Okay. The third thing we want to just talk about is the lawsuit that's taking place in Louisiana. So Louisiana is suing over a new law requiring public schools to post 10 Commandments. A group of Louisiana parents of different faiths filed a federal lawsuit Monday challenging Louisiana new law requiring public schools to post the 10 Commandments, setting up a legal battle that could have far-reaching implications for student rights and religious freedom.
That's Jeff Landry trying to get more publicity. Yeah. He's saying he's waiting for the lawsuits.
Oh, he's saying he's just waiting for you to sue me.
So that way he won't be a one-term governor. Mm-hmm. I mean, you'll have those folks, Republicans, who will agree with, I think it's so good to bring the 10 Commandments back, or bring the church back into school, and
it's just part of Donald Trump pact.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Landrew and the Speaker of the House, Johnson,
2025 plan,
and so it's just all part of his team. He's stacked the deck for he's trying to do it for his election in 2024. But we just have to vote to make sure that it doesn't happen. We gotta vote. We gotta get out the votes. Make sure that everybody in your family votes. All of your friends go out and vote. Ask questions about Louisiana laws and what's taking place now. Ask questions. Ask your pastor about what's going on. But we need to organize, vote all of the time. We must organize. Because too many things are taking place. I mean, and I just feel that we're just sitting back and not done enough. Just not doing enough. Like, tell me what more can I do?
That's our last conversation.
Yes.
What more
can I do?
All right.
Stay
on the road, you said.
Help somebody.
If you look at it, women are losing their rights to their bodies.
Yes.
That's Republican push.
Yeah.
They are restricting. Yeah, they are trying to restrict more people to go to the voting booth. So this country is moving backwards, and it starts at the top. But when you come down to specific states, then it's the same thing. You know, we won't even not we, but they won't even uh, do the abortion pill. First, you couldn't do the abortion, but now you can't do the pill. All of that's on the Supreme Court, which Trump got four appointees. They say three, but you got to count Clarence Thomas.
He's
You
already
know,
there.
so he has four. There's seven, and the other three they won't have a voice. Yeah. So, and if he become president, all seven of them will be, they'll be Republican appointed. So that's what you also have to think of in this next election. Do you want to have a Trump Supreme Court? Because if he become president, he'll appoint the next three. Yeah, yeah. But he'll have the full power. You know, and what's going to happen to not only Americans, people of color, but what's going to happen to white Americans who disagree? You know, because there's many of them.
Let's end on that note.
So yeah. So think about it when you go to the poll.
Yeah, like Shabbos said, gotcha. Okay, we have really spent this 30 minutes enjoy talking with you and having these conversations about many things, and that's what we do. So, watch us next week. We'll be talking about maybe some of the same stuff or some more stuff.
Oh, and the debate tomorrow. Maybe we'll talk about
make
that.
sure you watch the debate tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
All right.
Tomorrow. Yeah. Watch the debate tomorrow. And please don't vote for Trump. Please go out and vote for Biden. We got to save our lives, save ourselves.
He shouldn't be on stage anyway.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be. He's a convicted felon. Convicted felons can't vote.
Right. You're right.
Convicted felons can't vote.
Yeah.
So if he can't vote, he can't run for president.
You know.
And convicted people who have did crimes against America cannot run for president.
That's the way it is.
And he's
trying to get back, and he's gonna change all of that.
Yeah, he's a convicted felon, and he's
all right, y'all. They on another podcast.
And he also.
Our producer let us know.
I don't know. Yeah, we might have to talk about this next time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll talk about it another time. But we had a great show today.
And we'll talk to you. What's wrong with Black people?
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. See you next time.
And you just ended
See.
the show, didn't you? Bye.
See.